Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Life of Brian. I am here with my 1997 Toyota Supra. Pretty much stock, other than a steering wheel off a 1998 Supra and a stubby antenna, but everything else is pretty much stock. Wanted to do just a quick 5 things video. 5 things I aggressively tolerate about the car. And I did an earlier video where I kind of mentioned that I think this car is slightly overpriced, a little overrated as well, but you know, there's many things to love about this car, and I'm going to go into them today. So the first thing I aggressively tolerate about my Supra, guys, is this famous Supra emblem decal on the back here, Supra Turbo. This is the turbo version. Obviously, the new Supras also kept the Supra, the same badging on the back, which I thought was a really nice touch. You know, the fact that they kind of paid homage to its predecessor and kind of kept the lineage intact in that way. I thought that's really cool. I don't know what font this is, if it's actually called the Super font, or I just think it's super cool. You know, as soon as you see it down the road, it's like immediately, obviously you know what it is, but I just think that looks really cool. And you know, compared to obviously the Toyota logo, which is pretty plain and boring, the styling and font. And the turbo, of course, which, you know, I think you definitely have to try to get a turbo, but these two just go so well together. It looks super cool. You know, I've been behind a few Supras before, even before I got mine, and even after I get mine, I always kind of stop and admire it, because I think it looks beautiful, it looks cool. Whoever designed that definitely should have gotten a raise. And yeah, that's the first thing I aggressively tolerate about my Supra. The second thing, guys, that I aggressively tolerate about my Supra is this is a 97, so it has the 15th anniversary Supra limited edition badging on the car. There's one here on the side, and there's also one on the other side as well, for uniformity's sake. And I believe the final one is actually inside the car. Right there on the little ashtray thing, which is a cool touch. So that's the third thing I like about my Toyota Supra. The fact that, well, this one again is a 97, so it has its limited edition badging, so stands out a little bit from the other Supras. Sticking with the exterior of the car, guys, the third thing that I aggressively tolerate about my Supra is this rear spoiler, this wing. There's, you know, a good amount of people, even enthusiasts, who don't like the wing, who think it kind of, you know, doesn't really fit with the car, because the car is kind of, as you can see, is very kind of curvy, and, you know, not a lot of sharp lines or sharp angles. So there are some people who said that the wing doesn't really fit the car, but I think actually the Supras that don't have the wing kind of look a little weird, a little naked. I think the wing is great. You know, it's not, personally, I don't think it's, you know, as loud or obnoxious as the VR4 wing on the Mitsubishi the last year. I think it was 1999. Although I actually think those look pretty cool as well. But you know, I like this wing. It's completely what do you call it? You look at one of these and you immediately think Supra. It's the same thing with the decal here, the emblem on the back. You get behind one of these, you see the wing, you see the Supra Turbo, and you're like, oh wow, you know, immediately you're like, it's Supra Turbo, or it's obviously a Toyota Supra. You definitely cannot mistake this for any other car. When you see this wing, this spoiler going down the road, going down the freeway, I think it's beautiful. I think it fits the car. Kind of gives it that nice little edge. Again, this is not really a fast car. I mean, yeah, stock, it was not really a fast car. Of course, there's, you know, cars with 1,000+ horsepower now. But yeah, I think this rear spoiler, this wing really fits the car, and that's it's another thing that I aggressively tolerate about my Supra. The fourth thing that I really aggressively tolerate about my Supra, guys, is the interior, and specifically the cockpit of the vehicle. I really like how everything's oriented towards the driver. You know, all the switches, the knobs, the air vents, everything is, again, facing kind of more towards the driver. I always thought that was super cool. Even as a kid, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's amazing. You know, the NSX isn't like that. It's kind of a flat waterfall. My 300ZX is not like that. The SVX is not like that. The RX-7 has a similar orientation as well. But I just kind of like how in the Supra, it feels like the driver's kind of wrapped, enveloped in this cockpit. I thought that was always super cool. You know, it's not as close to the hand as the S2000, but again, I think it's a very unique attribute of the Supra. I think it's aged well. I think other cars have obviously copied this as well. And yeah, just the orientation, the layout. I just really think that's a really cool aspect of the car, and something that I really aggressively appreciate about the Supra, and I wish actually more cars did, quite frankly. So the fifth thing that I aggressively tolerate about my Toyota Supra, guys, is the driving experience. And I don't mean that in the typical sense in terms of, you know, how the suspension feels, or, you know, the feel and the feedback you get through the steering wheel, or, you know, how nimble or quick the car is. That's not what I mean, because, you know, it's good in most of those areas, but not great. What I mean in terms of the driving experience, as I kind of referenced in a previous video, like this special feeling that you get in driving one of these cars. You know, you constantly get attention, you constantly get thumbs up and questions about the car, and if you're selling the car and how you enjoy it. And I don't buy cars or drive my cars for attention, but I'd be lying if I said that with this particular car, I kind of actually do like the attention, because usually all the attention is positive. It's people complimenting the car, people, you know, wanting to take a photo of it, or asking me how, you know, what it is, what the ownership experience is like, etc., etc. And it's that intangible part of the Supra that I think makes it a really special car. It's you can't really describe it, you can't really put your finger on it. It's not because it's the most powerful car, or it has horsepower up the up the ASS. You know, it's not the most expensive, it's not the most tech. You know, you don't have carbon fiber this, carbon fiber that. There's not a V8 or a V10, or again, from a technological standpoint, aesthetic standpoint, quite frankly, performance standpoint, it's not, you know, the best thing ever, but just that special combination of the things I listed before, and just, you know, it's the Fast and Furious hero car. It's I would think generally considered the, if not the top JDM king of its era, probably right up there with the RX-7. So it's a special car to drive. It's an enjoyable car to drive in that sense. You know, it's the intangibles of the car, and you know, people really appreciate it. There's a cult following. People love the car, and in that regard, I love driving the car because I love getting that type of attention and feedback. You know, this car most of the time, when I'm driving it, really does put a smile on my face, but for different reasons. Not because of the exhaust or the, you know, the pops and bangs, or again, not because of the speed, but just there's something special about driving a Supra, a Mark IV Supra, especially when you see the new Supras on the road and they're giving you a thumbs up, or, you know, wanting to ask you about the car. That's good. That's a really good feeling. So that's the fifth thing I aggressively tolerate about my Supra. So those are the 5 things, guys, that I aggressively tolerate about my 1997 Toyota Supra. I know I made an earlier video where, I mean, I didn't poo-poo on the car, but I kind of did mention that I felt it was overpriced, which I believe it is, and slightly overrated in certain aspects. But that aside, it's still a very enjoyable car, a fun car to drive. And obviously there are many things I like about the car, mainly the 5 things that I listed. So I feel very fortunate to have one of these. I don't really, it's not a daily driver. It's more kind of a weekend car once every couple of weeks. But again, always puts a smile on my face. And I love the attention I get because the feedback, the questions, the thumbs ups that I get, makes it really enjoyable to drive the car and quite frankly, share the car with others as well. So hope you guys liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and like and subscribe, support the channel. Hope you guys like the content. If I can do anything else for you guys, different content, different anything really, food reviews, car reviews, whatever it may be, please let me know. Would love to make more entertaining and useful content for you guys. Appreciate all the feedback and the love so far. Gonna keep on trying to put out consistent and quality content for you guys. Gonna get a wireless microphone. That's something that you guys recommend that I get, so I'll definitely get that. It's coming in today to improve things for you guys. But again, really appreciate everything so far. Hope to see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.